not answer, call 911 to verify that that it is a police officer that is at your door. So that's what we know at this point. Amy, Karen?
Interesting. That's a lot, Tim.
Right.
Would you mind just kind of going back to the beginning and walk us through just like the couple of things that we know about him as far as, I don't know if we have the graphic still up, but there were a couple of things that kind of stood out to me right at the top here.
Specifically about the security, his involvement with security.
Right, and that's why I said a lot of this will line up to you and our viewers because it was a black Ford Explorer with emergency lights on top. It very much looked like a police car. And then you had the chief, the Brooklyn Park police chief, in the news conference this morning saying that when their officers approached the scene, this suspect came out of the door wearing a dark police uniform, wearing a taser, wearing body armor, wearing a badge. And the chief said, if you and I were standing in this room, you would not know that he was not a police officer. So this tends to line up, if he does come from a security background, that this suspect would have access to those uniforms and that particular vehicle that would have parked in the Horkman's driveway.
Can you talk about who he was working for?
It's Praetorian Guard Services, PRAE.
What is that?
It's a security guard company here in the Twin Cities.
But you said they did some work around the world in Africa?
He did work. According to his bio on the site, he has been involved with security situations in Eastern Europe, Africa, North America, and the Middle East, including the West Bank and southern Lebanon and the Gaza Strip. So apparently he has a very broad security background, not just here in the States, but in some of the hot spots around the world.
Okay, thank you, Tim. And then also just really quickly here, I know this is coming in fresh to you too, you may not know, but if you could look into a little bit more, in 2019, that would be Governor Walz at the time, Workforce Development Board?
Workforce Development Council.
What is
Well, what these do is they tend to advise the administration on workforce issues, whether it's recruitment, whether it's mostly workforce strategies, how to recruit people, how to train people, and he would have been served twice on this particular board. So I find that very interesting that he was a gubernatorial appointee who obviously had ties to the Walz administration in the past as a private sector individual, and that was made very clear on the governor's proclamations that are part of the public record.
And we don't know if he had, in his dealings when he was on that board, if he had direct dealings with Melissa Horkman or Senator Hoffman.
We have no way of knowing. A lot of times what these boards do is they meet, not privately, oftentimes in public, but they meet separately from the legislative issues that are going on at the Capitol.
Okay. All right, Tim, and I know we're working on a photo of this suspect, Vance Luther Bolter, 57 years old. I know we're working on a photo. We'll try to get that out to you, but certainly some incredibly interesting information. But really, we still don't really have any answers as to motivation here.
No, absolutely not. Other than, and Karen, you would speak to this too. It is very rare when the state patrol or investigative agencies will release pictures of evidence at a scene. And the evidence that they released a picture of the pieces of paper inside the vehicle here this morning, with obviously was handwritten in a magic marker. King's Rally, that they disclosed that they had found this evidence, and there's part of their reasoning. This is right here, no Kings. To disclose evidence from an active scene like this is so unusual for law enforcement, but it speaks to the urgency as to why they did not want people to go to these rallies here today, especially the big one at the Capitol, where the governor, the lieutenant governor, Keith Ellison, a lot of our leading elected officials in the state of Minnesota were scheduled to appear at noon.
Okay, Tim. Sorry, we're just
Okay, there you go, guys. Now that's interesting. I apologize, Trent, because I didn't hear you say this 3 hours ago, like you're saying in the chat. I This guy has a lot of experience in, I'm gonna say security, because he's not a law enforcement person, and he's been all over the world. And he's like really highly educated. Like I said, it didn't make sense to me when we heard this earlier today, and this is only my opinion, when I said this person didn't just get out of the trailer, out of his recliner, and him and Billy Bob thought this shit up last night, and they decided to do it. It didn't make sense because we in our community know that if you're surrounded by law enforcement and you're in an active shootout, chances is, and chances has been, that you didn't walk away or get away on foot. All right? Him and Billy Bob, that's what I said, Christy. This man has training. So it's going to be in some of the craziest places, right? So he's going to be a challenge, but I hope they find his motherfucking ass. I hope they light him up with that at nighttime with that body warm shit where they can see you walking across in the dark. I hope that happens because he think he done did something now, built up his confidence.
He was not expecting to be on foot. And it really was excellent police work by the Minnesota Police Department. Because after the first incident at Hoffman's home, they went around the corner. This is a precaution to go check on because they knew that Ortman lived around the corner. And when the police officer approached, the police SUV was already in the car. Of course, the officer's like, well, wait, I should be the first one here. Who else is there? And he comes walking out, and that's when the gunfire is exchanged. So I really got to commend the police department for likely stopping another killing, for having the forethought.
So have we determined he's a leftist? This man is a leftist, Trent? Do we have information on that yet? Because that's what you came in saying, that he's a leftist.
That's unclear.
CEO, I'm talking to Trent.
I would say, like I said, it's nuanced. It's unclear.
But you said you came in very clear at first that it was a leftist.
What I said is
That he was a leftist. It's in the
it's a registered Democrat. What I said is that the connection that we know is that vote that just happened in the State House and her casting the deciding vote and Hoffman pushing it along. I mean that's paramount.
You did say he was a leftist, Trent.
Right, we can't move forward unless you tell the truth, brother. You came in and that's exactly what you said. Just claim it, own it, and move forward.
Yeah, he is a leftist. I mean, he's a registered Democrat. He's worked on
If I can nudge you a bit here. Okay. So I think what we can say is his wife's a leftist because she interned with Waltz. So that may explain his relationship with the governor. So that doesn't mean he is a leftist. His wife is. I think we can establish. Hold on. Let me finish.
So it's left-handed. It's left-handed studies.
I think we can establish his wife's a leftist. And if let's say he was a Republican, and let's say his wife recommended him to the board, that's possible though, Trent. So that's it.
Well, we left-handed people are lefties, not leftists, okay?
And when people are nominated to be on boards or appointed to boards, it's typically bipartisan or at least different views. So because he appointed him does not make him a Democrat. It doesn't make him a Democrat because he appointed it. Oh my God. No, if I shut up until I finish, damn it. Let me finish my sentence. Damn, Trick, you make me sick. You can let me finish my sentence. Go ahead.
Sorry.
I was just gonna say.
Tired, you motherfuckers. Tired.
Deborah, you continuing, Deborah?
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say, like,
Hold on, no, let me answer, because I already, to CEO's point, I'd already seen I'd already seen LinkedIn, so I'd already seen the information on the Congo and other things and I'd seen his wife's information. I didn't mention it intentionally.
You didn't see his wife's information because you would have told it. You a damn lie. You going on what CEO said. You tell everything that you see. You would have told us. You a damn lie. And I'm jumping in because you jumped in on me, and you're a liar. That's what you are. Because you would have told us. You would have told us what CEO just said. You ain't see shit. It was already gone. It was already gone. You can't even admit that you called him a leftist in the chat. Why would anybody listen to what you're saying? You didn't admit what you typed in the chat.
Ma'am, I just said I did. Yes, and I still believe that this man.
After four of us came off the mic to say, yes, you said it, we all know you did, then you had to admit it, because you couldn't hide it no.
If you're going to
And you ain't never kept information to yourself to save us or you ain't never cared if it was correct or not. You just have to be the first one to say it.
Okay, ma'am, I've had his LinkedIn for a while. I've got his address.
He's had his LinkedIn for a while, so you knew him before today?
No,
Guess what, Trent? You could vote, you could be registered as a Democrat or vote Republican, right? It doesn't matter if he was on the left or on the right, Democratic, Republican. It doesn't fucking matter. Two people are dead, okay? 2 children lost their parents. Do you think they give a fuck if he voted Republican or not? It doesn't matter. This issue, once you brought it in, has caused an incredible divide and arguments. When nobody was in here arguing, like, everything was chill, okay? And you want to argue something, guess what? It doesn't matter. Because I haven't voted Democrat 100% of my life. I don't think anyone here has. I don't think any Republican in here has. I think a lot of people in here vote independent. So it doesn't fucking matter if, like, you're trying, like, 2 people are dead, 2 people are fighting for their lives. Do you, like, is that important at all, or do we not give a fuck?
Yes, it is. I also want to say he's also connected. I don't want to say. He's also connected to.
It doesn't fucking matter. If fucking worship Satan.
Right, if I can advise that you respond to her comment first before you make the next point.
Well, on both sides, guess what? Take it outside. Motherfuckers are crazy. Democrats are crazy. Republicans are crazy. Alright? There's crazy ass motherfuckers that are gonna do this shit. Okay?
Oh, you were first. I'm good.
I just want to let y'all know. I don't know about your confused party. I don't know about you independent motherfuckers. But that person on the top left has always voted Democrat. Okay, I'm true blue. Okay? I don't know what y'all doing. But y'all sound like y'all getting more confused at this point.
Sounds good.
It's a fucking mess. It is a fucking mess. There's division and it's a fucking mess. I hear more division than I've heard in my whole fucking 40 years. I'm hearing people say independent, never heard that shit in 40 motherfucking years. Once again, nobody wants you. It's like non-Democrats speaking on the Democratic Party. None of y'all are Democrats. Y'all pretending to be the Democrats. Y'all acting like you're Democrats this time around for whatever fucking reason. And y'all all fucking confused. We need to go back to the dictionary, get the definition of all these beautiful words, right? And then we can come back at the table to see what side y'all fucking sit on. Because none of y'all have a side. Respectfully, none of y'all have a side. Lefties, righties, y'all all
parents. I've seen my parents vote for Republicans in their lifetime for whatever fucking reason. I don't think I was born yet when they were voting. So let me clarify. Every single Democrat that I know hasn't 100% voted Democrat, okay, in their lifetime, right? Which my parents were alive for about 80 years, okay? Every single Republican that I know has voted Democrat on certain things. But myself, I've, for the most part, been Democrat 100%. Voting. Do I agree with certain Republican things? Yeah, but I've never voted for a Republican that I could remember. But it doesn't matter. But what I'm saying is that people in general, right, are nuanced. A lot of people are, hence the division in this country, right? But we shouldn't be trying to figure out whether someone is Republican or Democrat, because obviously this person is a fucking insane person.
Yeah,
right?
So Sid, I think you're 100% correct. I think why Trent's point is worth talking about is because when this first happened, there were people on the left who were talking about this being a Republican and being all Republicans and all this and that. That did happen, right? So I do think there is some value and some clarity, but ultimately you're correct, it doesn't matter.
Can I read something really quick that doesn't have anything to do with
No.
the shooting? It has to do
One
with
second. No, 1 second, because, CEO, I hear what you're saying, but the person, even if they are a registered Democrat and so on, heavy, their actions today do not show, that they were in support of the Democratic Party, period.
Well, there's a scenario.
And that's common sense.
Yeah,
Well, to have that.
there's a scenario that it was tied to her vote around the legal immigration health care.
Not with the list that he put out.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing that we know about this man's motivations, the only thing that we know about this man's motivations is that he had a bunch of Democratic and, and left-leaning targets. That was his target list. Who someone has been before they do an act like this is not necessarily indicative of who they are now.
Yeah, that's
Let me say that again.
That's true.
Someone who was like like organizing Communist Party meetings in Minnesota 20 years ago, which I have no idea if he did or didn't, just throwing out something crazy on purpose. It's meant to be so crazy you wouldn't believe it. Doesn't mean that he isn't a right-wing nut job today. People change. There are things that change. We don't have much information. Going on his LinkedIn and figuring out who he might have been before or on his company page is not some incredible breadcrumb that you can then extrapolate into a motivation.
And you know what else? This morning, when this first broke, I was watching before we opened up this room, and the analyst, the FBI analyst, said that it was political. They believed it to be political. That's all they said. That's all they said. They didn't repeat. They didn't say a name or anything at that point. They just said they believe it's politically motivated. That's not the same as saying that somebody said it was a Democrat or a Republican. Or whichever. I'm confused.
Yeah,
but they didn't say either way. They just said it was politically motivated.
Yeah, I think ultimately it's not important. I do think there are people invested in defending that it's not a Democrat. There's people invested in defending it's not a Republican. But it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's inside.
But I'm invested in. I'm invested in keeping your fucking opinion to yourself about which one it was until we know. That's what I'm invested in. Thank you.
I just want to say one thing. When I said what I said earlier, we didn't know who it was at the time, and the only thing I was bringing was a connection of that vote that CEO was talking about. That's what stuck out.
Yeah, poor little victim Trent. Misunderstood Trent.
All right.
Full of shit.
Can I read my article now?
No. No, just go ahead.
Well, if people want to keep him in the hall, I will shoot
I'm gonna tell you something. Well, no, because I think it's important, because we need to learn a strategy around this, but go ahead.
Is your article about ice cream or something positive?
No, it's not. It's about far right extremists preparing for violence for the No Kings protests. Did their Telegram channels, which God help us with our Telegram channel. In any case, far right groups are humming with talk of potential violence ahead of the massive No Kings Day demonstrations. In a Telegram channel used by groups affiliated with the Proud Boys, a violent white nationalist group. Sent posts promoting violence. Shoot a couple, the rest will go home, I promise. One meme featuring a photograph of Kevin Costner's character in The Highwayman, a 2019 film about Texas Rangers tracking down Bonnie and Clyde holding a shotgun. Hang the traitors, expel the invaders, said another post. John Lewis, a research fellow at George Washington University Program of Extremism, told the Journal that the posts were alarming as they might inspire one to get off the couch, pick up a gun, and go out to one of these cities. Donald Trump has actively empowered far-right paramilitary groups by pardoning their leaders for crimes related to January 6th, including Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio. Upon release from his 22-year prison sentence, Tarrio vowed retribution. Earlier this month, a coalition of Proud Boys leaders filed to sue the federal government for $100 million, alleging that a lot of their pardons or arrests and various charges have violated their constitutional rights. So the violence that we've heard from them, of course being pardoned for their violent acts, and the sheriff down in Florida, all this violence comes from them. It's always there in the atmosphere going out against people. People who are in the spotlight should not be doing these type of things. It's crazy. It invites problems, and it stirs people up and inflames tensions until you have wackos, which I said yesterday, who hear these type of things and they're like, well, shit, I guess I can go get my pop mine.
Nisha, you good? You come up the stage?
Yeah, what was that about? Haitian, what was that about?
I think CEO pushed Station on the stage.
And why would I do that again?
I don't know.
That was me.
I got something for that ass. Oh, did somebody really put you down? I was like, of course, I just brought him up. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? I brought him up. It's not. I was trying to figure out, like, if there was like a.
Hey, Isha, I know what you did last summer.
I'm talking. Yeah, you know how.
That sounds like a leftist.
You know how you used to swipe left and then it'll kick you out? So I didn't know something like that. It came back. He wasn't even talking. Lisa, why would you put your hands on your man like that? What's going on? You gotta hold these women responsible. You gotta hold them.
And it's funny that he actually believes it's me.
When you said it, I know, but you know good damn well. The last first night, I would kick CEO before I kicked Haitian. So did he do it himself? That's what I'm trying to say.
You see the violence?
You see the violence? CEO's been on you for months, and I can't even help it.
Your ass for months. Yeah, I don't know about months, but that.
They said CEO did it because he's a leftist.
CEO's a leftist, and the leftists have been out of hand.
Yep.
Oh, so by the way, so talking about this left and right and underground and all that, we do have a conservative, little, questionnaire, if you will, and we want to do a conservative space, and we want to get down to the bottom of this. Who really is conservative? So, I don't know what we're going to hold.
Unless you're gonna run out, I'll not be there.
Why not? You're conservative.
Me? Conservative?
I don't know. By the time the room finishes, I think everybody's gonna be
I'm a communist.
Bye. Can we get a word for this? Because ain't nobody gonna be one conservative 100%. But that's just my
Bipolar.
Not bipolar.
They're gonna be buying something.
Buying? So who was going to say something? CEO, you was going to say something?
Oh, I was gonna say, what about like quizzing one person a day, something like that, on state?
I did have a question for the beautiful independents over there, these Miss Independence or Mr. Independence. How does that benefit you? Does it benefit you by registering independent? Does it benefit you or does it benefit everybody? Of course.
Okay. There's closed primary states or primary states. New York is a closed primary state. It does not benefit you to be an independent whatsoever if you want to have the say in the Democratic or Republican Party. If you're in an open primary state, then you can be an independent. And you can vote in the primary either way. But the other reason to not be an independent is that if you are in any state, regardless, you have no say in your party because you're not registered to that party. So that's the truth.
I can tell you my previous list.
Thank you. Next person. Yeah, you next, right? Or whoever else wanna go? Yeah, you go.
All right, disagreeing with that, Trent, though, but just answering that.
You're 100%. No, I'm 100% with you on the closed state and open states. From a business aspect of it, and somewhat of a political aspect. From a business aspect of it, it's good to stay independent because you never know. And charter that's funding grant. So a lot of, especially executives, are now registering independent. Behooves you in some states to be Republican, Texas, and so forth. But that's one reason. The other reason on the other side, I will say politically, is you'll get invited because you'll be quoted to vote to see the party. So you get invited to just go to Republican things, and I get invited to go to Democratic things by legitimately states.
I am an independent. I actually consider myself though more of a pragmatic progressive. So I am more left leaning. I'm definitely more on the left, clearly. However, the reason why I don't want to register as to be a Democrat is because there's a lot still about the Democratic Party that I don't like in terms of the way they operate, in terms of the way they don't allow for voices that I think would be more beneficial. And honestly, back when we had, Obama in office, there was a lot of great things happening, right? You could still critique Obama, but I feel like, when I started to become more, electorally, interested in picking out who I want to vote for, why I want to vote for them, why I don't, I just started with the Democrats. They just got on my nerves. A lot of the leadership got on my nerves, and some of it's still there. And I was like, you know what? I agree with you guys on a lot of stuff. I just don't agree with how you guys go about it. So I felt like being an independent allows you not to feel like you have to stay within that party, within the echo chambers within the party, because you're either a this or a that or a this. The Democratic Party, in my opinion, it's a big coalition, but it's just too much. I don't like the culture war nonsense that people argue about. I don't like the Bernie bro versus this versus that bullshit. I don't want to be a part of any of that bullshit. Like, I just want to be a person who can rationally think through things and say this is something that makes sense. And if a Republican has an idea that makes sense, I can say that makes sense, right? But 9 they don't, right? That's why I'm not Republican, and that's why I don't agree with center-right anybody. I think they don't make sense at all. So yeah, for me, it's like I want the freedom to be able to critique people and not be told I'm being a traitor. Because a lot of times with Democrats, specifically like with Biden, he needs to drop out. With Democrats, we're saying you need to drop out. People were destroying them on social media. Like, you can't just have a free voice. You have to stay in a party and their bullshit. You have to be loyal to nonsense, or you could just speak truth to power and not feel like you're beholden to anyone or anything. I think that's the best way to be. So, and I'm also an Aquarius. We don't like being a part of any specific one, thing. We like to be able to bring.
That's your problem.
Yeah, the Aquariuses really are, we're in the age of my sign right now, and, it's just our time to shine, so, yeah, that's just me. I want to feel like I'm a free thinker. I want to feel like I don't have to be dragged online if I make a statement about whoever the fuck the president is, if they're a Democrat, and have all the Dems on my saying, like, you can't say that, right? Like how they did with all the, with everybody that call Biden. That's how he needs you to drop out. So, I mean, that's the prime example.
Thank you.
Megan's now calling for Tim Walz to be investigated by the Department of Justice. Those people.
That's a buzz.
Why?
Yeah, they're really mounting a campaign against him.
Is he probably trying to say that he knew about this? Like he knew about this?
They're trying to say, they're making a week link that he appointed this guy, and then I guess earlier the week or last week, some past employee of his or what have you, lighted a Tesla car on fire. So they're trying to say he's inciting violence or he's in close proximity, so they need to investigate.
So another distraction basically from the actual.
Yeah.
Got it.
Okay, any other indies want to respond or, and then we just, I guess, moving forward?
I agree.
Simple, I'm independent because I'm not gonna be loyal to any party.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with some individual, you know what I mean? That's how I'm going for the shit.
I'm an ND because Democrats don't fight dirty enough for
Okay, I'm independent because, yeah, I'm independent, well, not really a registered Democrat. I have been for a while because I'm here for this right state. But I'm independent in the sense that I don't believe in this astrology bullshit that you all believe in, and that's part of the problem. That's why Democrats lose.
Well, I put it in the chat, but I'm a registered independent because I don't like being pigeonholed. I like to do whatever I want to do. And I routinely change because I live in a closed primary state. And I just change depending on who I want to vote for, what I want to vote for in the primaries. I agree with Scotty though, it can be a disadvantage, but it also prevents me from getting those robocalls. I don't get as many of them, or those flyers, because the way that the little systems work, they send it to you.
Can I also make another point, which I think is important, and it certainly exists in states that are either very red or very blue. In particular, in Massachusetts, within the Democratic Party, like you can't get anywhere if you are a Republican. So there's a lot of people who are conservative who are registered Democrats because the only way to move within your party and actually get elected is as a Democrat. But there's a wide spectrum within the Democratic Party in Massachusetts. I would imagine this to be the same in deeply red states. So that's another thing, and that's why the party registration doesn't really hit for me in cases of.
Yeah, Scotty, I can echo that because I live in a really, really red state, and there are lots of people who are registered Republicans, and they're not. And here, they also do this thing where which I find offensive, but they'll become Catholics too, because it gives them social, sort of political and strategic advantage. Yeah, it's real crazy. It's real crazy. Thank you. I think. I'm sorry. I think he's just trying to go back. Say one more time, please. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Come on, Lisa.
So, I'm just gonna say, it's the whole MAGA BS, but the Democrats, were they that bad before MAGA? I mean, the Republicans. Like, I just think that this is more recent, within the past, since the rise of Trump, but, that things were this bad.
I would say the Republicans took a turn for the real worst. I mean, Reagan was bad, but Republicans took a turn for the real worst with the conversion of John McCain in 2004. It's when the party really got fractured and extreme, I think.
Yeah, I mean, if people don't know, Dr. AJ, you may remember Jack Kemp.
Yeah, even Bob Dole.
Very, very different than the modern day MAGA Republican.
It's after 9/11. So it's two things. It's after 9/11, and then the crash of 2008 when it spawned the Tea Party. which is really what.
I think Lisa's trying to go, guys. I don't know. I gotta put my big mic for you guys because y'all don't be hearing me. But Lisa's trying to go.
Wait, I haven't heard Lisa. Lisa.
Hi guys. The reason that I registered independent is because I was a Democrat. My mom is a Democrat, and she's really a Democrat. She's, you know, and then my dad is a staunch Republican. So I agree with some things that, you know, they both say and they both align with. So I decided to, as for myself, since I do agree with some things that the platform represents. Now this year, no, so don't start asking me some shit like that, but in previous. But I am going to re-register as a Republican next chance I get, just to fuck up the system. So, you know, people want to play games, I can play games too. But the reason I'm an independent is because my dad is a staunch Republican and my mom is a Democrat. And just so we can have peace in the family and I can discuss both topics with them, both sides, that's why I decided to go independent.
That explains a lot about you and your outlook. That your dad is a Republican. No, I'm not being funny. Because you do.
Yeah, he's really a staunch Republican, you know, not a Trump, not a MAGA. Let's get all that straight too, because he doesn't believe in, who did he vote for last election? He voted for Kamala right now, because he doesn't support Donald Trump's policies, the extremism and all the shit that's going on. And at least he's a respectable man to be able to think independently, and he went and voted for Kamala, because we all talked about it. He was like, I can't run with this shit right here. And that's what people do when you guys use those words, critically thinking. That's what we do when you try to figure shit out, like what works best for you. But there you go.
Have you seen what Clubhouse is doing now? First Lady. First Lady, where's she? If I double tap on your screen and hit the heart emoji, little hearts dance around your picture.
Yeah, you got the update.
Oh. I was gonna say a lot of
Trent, let me get in real quick. You stole my last thing I was trying to say because you got in before me. I just wanted to ask Ms. Deborah if she believes how much the Republican Party changed after the Tea Party. That, to me, that's when it started flipping.
Yes,
They're crazy.
to me, I agree. That's when I started to see the radical. They were starting to become more radical, I believe. Cause you remember what's his name? That the Speaker of the House, Pat Ryan. No, when Obama and he had the shades on when they both checked out. John Boehner. Yeah. Remember, Boehner couldn't control them. He couldn't control the Republicans. And that's when it went bad to me. And I think that was a signature moment that I recall when they were leaving, and they left together like a team. Like they came together and walked down in their shades like Men in Black, right? I thought that was pretty cool, but Boehner couldn't control those Tea Party folks. He thought they were crazy. He said that they were too much. So yeah, I agree, Sandra.
I completely agree. I was actually very connected to the party then, and that's when it went crazy. I completely agree for a good reason, though. I mean, so many people lost jobs, lost all their income, they didn't know where to turn, and they were very angry at the corporate, our corporate system. And so that's not much different from MAGA. And the reason why MAGA wasn't.
It turned because Obama was president, sir.
Yeah, that's why the party rose. What are you talking about?
Exactly. What are you talking about? You're gonna have to stop that. I'm stopping you because that's not true.
The Tea Party starts in 2010 or 11.
Obama was elected in 2008, clown.
2007 and it started.
Shut up and just say what you need to say. Don't nobody have to argue with you about when the Tea Party started, goddammit. Make your point and move on. Stop arguing when you're wrong.
Yeah, because all the Tea Party did was like attack all of Obama's policies. Like literally, that was like that's all they talked about.
And they have hilarious signs that they carry too, except the ones where they portray him as a African with a bone to his nose. They said, keep your hands off my Social Security or Medicare, which is they didn't even, they were the precursors.
Keep your hands off my fucking Social Security.
But it says online that they started in 2009.
That's what I was gonna say. It was 2009. It was 2009 with the escalation of the birther conspiracy.
Right.
Thank you, Dr. A.G.
Who did that? Who did the birther? Who did that? That's Trump that ran with that shit.
Or in the words of the great ambassador, Donald the Duck Trump.
So,
Donald the Duck!
it wasn't me that was talking, you shut up before off.
No, she shut you up. She was right. She shut you up.
He jumped in and was all like, "But we got the information from Dr. A.G. You know, talking about that. Always thank you, John. Go build a car."
Okay, well, I was part of the party, and I'm.
Who gives a fuck what party you was a part of? I got you next time. You fucking with the wrong ones, man.
Come get him, Sarah. You better not say nothing about Sarah either.
Make your point. Who gives a fuck what party you were with? Bro, I couldn't even vote back then. I was just fucking young and I know that. This is what I'm talking about these slow ass people that really try to come and talk and stuff. Like, what are we doing? Trent, get on Google before you talk.
Okay, so the reason why I'm not that concerned about MAGA right now is because like the Tea Party, it can't hold, it doesn't have a real platform.
That's not the subject.
Well, I'm talking, okay, I don't know what the subject is.
Okay then, go on mute.
Alright,
That's why you keep interrupting and talking about shit we ain't talking about.
I apologize, you guys have a good one.
We know you'll be back in 5 minutes. It's over.
Just take constructive criticism. What's wrong with you? Sorry.
I keep telling y'all that boy is a robot. I keep telling y'all that is not a human.
It's not used to getting criticism.
I apologize to the room. I'm sorry.
Sarah, you would be right. I have to put you in
We love it. We love it.
God bless his wife, because I don't even know how I couldn't even deal with a man like that.
You know, y'all brought up a good point with the first ambassador. Did we get a report after his rallies and boots on the ground that he was going to do? Has anybody heard back from him?
Oh, no.
Yeah. He brought his little guest speaker on to talk about what they were going to do. And
I made it back from my rally, as y'all can take. Oh, so look, you know, I was gathering the kind and gentle European American women in my corps, and I was just on water patrol. I had water, protein bars. That was my job. I wasn't actively protesting.
Trump came out and eventually the Marco Rubio is like, we are not, I think he was sending a message to running government that, I guess in a way that do not attack our assets and whatnot, because we're not responsible for this, blah, blah, blah. But then Trump got there.
Index was up.
Pizza meter?
Yeah, there's a website that tracks the opening hours of pizza shops around the Pentagon, and they stay open later when there's more demand. And the pizza meter was like off the charts.
What about the popcorn? I ate a lot of popcorn yesterday watching.
It's a very interesting intelligence mechanism to understand what's happening at the Pentagon, because on a normal day they all go home and no one orders pizzas after 6 or 7 or 8 o'clock. But when they're ordering pizzas all night long and the place has to stay open, and someone observes this, then they publish it.
I think if the United States is going to come in, I think China should come in. I mean,
I hope there's some a lot of pizzas days ago.
another
Israel's statements still down. China needs to step in.
They don't have the capability, unfortunately, to step in.
China, North Korea, we're gonna all die. Let's all motherfucking die. Because this is what Israel wants. World War III? Let's go now. Let's go.
So, they actually hit, what is it, Israel reportedly hit Iranian gas sites and flares. Trump said war should end. I mean, who started it? Who's the aggressor?
That's exactly what they did. That's exactly what they did to Saddam Hussein.
What'd you say, Mahdi brother?
Yeah, that's exactly what they did with Saddam Hussein. They lit his the oil rigs up, and then they assassinated, and then they captured him.
Yep. So now, the reason why they became aggressive, I think the Iranians, it's because they targeted Khomeini's house, and that's basically, for the Shia community, that's basically like a top scholar, the ruling or whatever they get out of it, right? And he's the leader of the country as well. So now, anytime when you attack the house of a leader of a country, it means it's coming for you, And this is why Netanyahu, there's reports that he ran away, he's hiding in the tunnels, he's hiding in the bunker. I don't know what the hell he's doing. Even when he was operating, he was working out of a basement in one of the houses. He had it was covered with metal, whatever. That's what I heard. According to Times of Israel, this was a long time ago. I don't know about now. So I think what's coming to him is just that's what he asked for it from Iran. Iran is you don't attack a dinosaur. That's the thing.
So do you believe that Iran's fault for being the initial aggressor?
Bro, initial is Israel, not Iran. Where'd you get this idea from?
The initial aggressor?
Where'd you get this idea from, President?
Yeah, no, I just like a misunderstanding. Just newly joined, so I didn't.
So the first attack. Yeah, the very first attack was done at the Iranian embassy in Damascus. That was the first attack. It was uncalled for. And they killed a whole bunch of people, and the Zionist entity was claiming that these people are terrorists, blah, blah, blah. And then Iran went back and forth. They did not big of a damage. They did send out rockets and a whole bunch of stuff. They showed them that we can get past your defense system. But it was overdue. They were supposed to do like a Promise 3 ending.
Someone is screaming in here. Someone is
I know that is there. I can't kick that fucker out. This fucking son of a bitch that's sitting in the audience.
None of us have run in here.
Look, it's in the audience, this bitch. I can't kick this fucker out. I don't know, man. This stupid fucking clubhouse.
Yo, you're a weird ass bitch, bro. Go collect your unemployment, you fucking weirdo.
Yeah, this bitch, it needs to be kicked out of all the rooms and blocked. Permanently blocked. That's what it is. Hey, what's up, Jim Dip? If anybody else want to come up, I don't mind sending you guys invite, or you can raise your hand. That's where we're at right now. What's your take on this, Jim Dip, or anybody can chime in? Do you think America will have to jump in?
Take on what exactly? America is jumping in, it's already jumping.
No, I'm talking about like boots on the ground.
I don't know about boots on the ground, but America is holding this war.
I think China should jump in.
No. I hear the news that the North Korea, this Kim Jong-un, that is thinking of joining the war with Iran against the Israelites.
No, it's not. Where do you
Assalamualaikum everybody. I didn't, he did say something like that. I'm not too sure if it's 100% true, but I did hear that.
Well,
you did say that?
Yeah.
Is that a confirmed thing that I just said that?
I didn't.
So, according to Haaretz, it says that Israeli jets, this is a live update, Israeli jets will soon fly over Tehran. Netanyahu vows Israel will hit every single site and target of the Iranian regime. So,
well, it's gonna be a full-scale war. We will start by the aircraft first, and it's going to end up in a full scale. So I believe Iran will be over soon.
you say they could take down Iraq, positive?
Come again?
You're saying they could topple the Iranian government, they could take down the Iranian government?
Yeah, they're going to topple the Iranian government easily. And because there are so many, because of the intelligence, the treason in Iran regime, the outdated Iranian weapons, because most of the Iranian weapons are outdated.
Are you Iranian?
No, I'm Egyptian, but I live in Kuwait, very close to Iran.
What's gonna happen again? President, can you repeat, brother?
I'm repeating what I'm saying, that there's so many factors that the Iranian regime is going to be. No, I'm not a Zionist. I'm Egyptian. I'm Muslim, Sunni Egyptian. See.
Please allow to finish. When is the please allow to finish? Please allow to finish.
Okay. There are some factors that Iran will be easily toppled. And it will be exterminated 100%. The first factor is the Iranian weapons, it is not advanced enough. The second thing, the intelligence, the high intelligence of the Mossad inside Tehran, and the treason of the Islamic Republic of Iran, the people are working in the intelligence, that so many people are betraying their countries. And the third factor, which is the high backing of the United States to Israel, and they're imposing very high sanctions. And the fourth thing, that Israel is attacking Iran from inside out. Like, there are so many people working the intelligence in the Mossad across Tehran area and suburbs, and they are planting weapons, drones, everything. And Iran, the whole Iran, it's censored 100% by Israel, so it can be easily exterminated. I'm done speaking.
There is infiltration inside, what you call it, inside Iraq. There are people that are in bed with the Zionist entity. They're on a payroll. There are a lot of sellouts as well, especially those Zionist Iranians that want to topple IRGC. But I think this is going to cost those spies, this is going to cost these spies a lot of dead bodies. The reason why, because you can't, because they're not aware of it, that this Zionist entity targets innocent civilians, innocent kids, innocent women. And they thought, and I actually had a conversation with a couple of them on this app, they thought that Israel is their buddy-buddy. Netanyahu is their buddy-buddy. Netanyahu came out with another statement in support of these Zionist Iranians. So we stand with you, we are anti-IRGC, we're just going to attack the IRGC. But at the same time, who blows up the whole fucking building? You blow up the building, you're going to end up killing a whole bunch of civilians. And that's the question I raised. I said, let's say an IRGC member is hiding inside an apartment, with his family or whatever, right? He's still enjoying time, and you blow the shit out of the apartment building, there's innocent civilians, 500, do you support that? They're like, no, they would not do that. They would not kill innocent people. They would not. And all of these, some of these Zionists, I think they're turning on Israel now. So yeah, somebody want to chime in, Doctor?
Yeah, so brother, the guy in the audience, Anan, he goes by the name of John. He currently has a room open against Jew. It's called, give me 1 second, I'll tell you right
I
now.
know, we seen it, brother. I blocked about 10 of his accounts yesterday. I know, Amir's terrorist,
Yeah, so he has a room, something called Call the FBI Against the Emir, the terrorist, or something like this. So this is just wanted to let you know, my dear brother, that this is who is in the audience right now.
I can't kick in, I can't do anything. This unknown account, I can't do nothing.
Yeah, and he had your room right now open, streaming in his room. And people are chiming in, just listening to what you're talking about in this room right now. That's what's happening as you speak.
Yep. I got about 7 or 8 of his accounts yesterday blocked. I still reckon he's opened up more new accounts every day. He's got 30 phones. That's a disturbing part. Hey, what's up, Ryan? What's up? What's up, everybody? If you want to come on up, brother, you're welcome to come on up. Anybody else want to come on up? I can hear. Yeah. Hey, welcome, Namiria. Did you want to say something?
No, I prefer Mercy to listen because I'm under a lot of stress because of these 2 days, 3 days that Israel attacked my country, so I'm not in a good mood, honestly.
Yeah, I just don't know. These people are thirsty for blood. Why are you giving this a
I don't care about Zionism or anything. I hate all religious extremists. I'm just so angry with the regime of Iran that put my country in a situation that it get attacked. It's like we have to deal with them.
It's raining now. It's raining rockets from Iran now.
Yeah, but what's the casualty? I mean, let's be honest, okay? Let's be honest. They're attacking us. How many people are getting killed? How many places they got bombarded?
It's raining.
And Iran sent missiles. How many people are dead there?
We are watching them right now.
So wait. So Iran is not supposed to do anything. Iran.
No, I'm not saying. First of all, can I ask if you're from Iran or not?
No, but I'm just saying that. So because I'm not from Iran, I can't say anything. All right, fair enough.
No, of course you can say anything you want, right?
I'm very close to Iran currently.
It's okay, I have no problem.
So it's okay for Israel to keep on attacking Syria.
I didn't say that. I just said that.
A preemptive attack. A preemptive attack. They start first, but it's a preemptive attack. And you want to blame Iran and not Israel.
First of all, Iran is my country, my motherland, the soil.
You want to blame Iran.
I have right to blame the regime of Iran inside my country, but it doesn't mean that I'm confirming whatever Israel is saying to the world. That's two different things. That's a different thing. Just because I'm angry like my regime doesn't mean I'm for
Stop attacking each other. So I do have some questions for Namiria.
They're so aggressive, and my family is now under attack. They have explosion, and I just said that Israel is more powerful when it comes to I don't know, jet fighters.
Absolutely, because Hold on. I do have some questions. Please don't come off the mic, nobody. This is for Namiria. Namiria, the question is, according to you, who did the first attack? Can you tell us, Namiria?
Israel did the attack first. This time.
On what? No, but even before, when they did the attack.
Before
was it
Iran
Israel?
did the first attack. Before Iran did the first attack.
They attacked the Damascus Iranian embassy. You should look into it, Namiria. So a lot of people are.
I believe it. I look at my history, okay?
Yes.
And now I'm not happy. I'm not happy that Israel attacked my country.
Hang on, sister, hang on. So Israel did the first attack, which was at the Iranian embassy in Damascus, in Syria, right? No, they did return back, right? They gave them some rockets, drones, whatever, but they didn't really kill anybody, right? They killed, I think, one person. It was just to show them that we have the ability to get past your defense system, right? But at the same time, Trump was making a deal with, with the Iranian leader. Trump told him, attacking Iran is off limits. But then suddenly you see Israel attacking Iran again, first time. It was their fault. So how would they have responded back then? Can you tell us how should they respond back?
Well, Mr. Amir, please. I don't know why everyone says everything black or white, okay? I'm talking about something else. I'm asking you this question. I don't care about what Iran is doing now, the regime of Iran. Yeah, they are trying, but the trying is not enough. They just put my country in a war that is not even fair. And I have a question from all Arabic countries, okay? Why is that your country doesn't do anything to put your country under attack from Israel? Because you don't go in a clear way and threat the existence of Israel.
Fuck Israel, bro. What the fuck?
Israel is easy to do, okay? So next time we choose for a government for your country to attack Israel, because now my people are paying for that. You understand? Kids in my country. I'm talking about my people.
Lebanon is doing. What do you think Lebanon was doing?
Lebanon is not my business. When I have poverty in my own country, first I need to deal with my country. Then after that, I go and care about other people.
You just asked, what about the Arabic countries? Why are they not fighting against Israel? Wasn't Lebanon fighting against Israel?
Lebanon is Hezbollah, which has get money from Iran. Then I see what Hassan Nasrallah said officially. Hassan Nasrallah said, as far as Iran gives us money, we fight Israel.
Number 2, Lisa, of Anonymous, the show.
Let's say if I wasn't, Iran, and
Hello.
we're silent, we're doing nothing, we're not attacking them, we're not killing their people.
I actually went to sleep last night, closed my bedroom door, and then put in earplugs so I wouldn't have to hear it, and I went to sleep.
Injuring 500 people. How should they retaliate? Should they stay
He just started, and people are already freaking out, telling him about how his room's being recorded, and he's going crazy, like saying all kinds of things about me.
Oh, they're coming here. They're a country worse than the Iranian situation.
Can you get into his room and say, hey, what's up with all these room titles that keep telling people to call the FBI and report you for being a terrorist?
Provinces that they are starving, okay?
I agree.
We need to be productive. We can't be shouting at each other. I can't even understand her.
Even when you want to go and fight with the devil, right?
It's a good warning, like in the real world, you don't really know what's below somebody's iceberg,
They've been trying to
So,
make the deal.
I get that. I think they're getting a lot better, but I know how these things that
2 days prior to the
these
attack.
things upset me a lot. Like
Maybe 7 hours prior to the attack. Trump said in the news that attacking Iran is off limits to Netanyahu. And he made up with that, right? Whether he was lying or telling the truth. My question against you, Maria, they're doing everything silently.
I agree. I mean, that's why I read books. Like, I haven't read books in 2 days, and today I realized, like, listening to all this shit is like fucking with my brain psychology, chemistry. And so it's like one of those things where it's like, you have to go to the gym, you have to read books like every day, otherwise you can't listen to this shit because it's like, it'll kill you. I was just about to text you, Yakov, but I was like, I'll wait till Shabbos is over.
Sorry, he didn't do it, right? He was not honest, right?
This is awesome because they're actually talking to an Iranian girl in Iran who hates her government, and they can't deal with it.
I don't know, so when you're not strong enough, okay? Why you always, you know what we have in Iran? We had this billboard in Iran, Iran that it said, okay, I don't know, 50 days to the time that we erase Israel from the map of the world. They kept threatening Israel. Iran, the regime of Iran, is what we call existential threat for the country Israel. I'm not saying Israel is a good place, I'm not saying Zionist is good or whatever is happening in Palestine. Everyone is upset with what's happening in Palestine. Any human being that can keep getting died would be upset with that. I'm not talking about that part now. I'm talking about when you don't know what you are doing, don't mess with something and put your own people into danger.
They did not do that in America. They did, that's what I'm asking you. They did the first attack.
Iran was the first country. Iran was the first country that attacked. You don't remember? Go and
Israel did the first attack in America. First attack was done by Israel.
Not to the land of Iran. Not to the Iran border.
They attacked the positive peace TV reporting. Positive. What the fuck up?
I tell you that I know about the country.
Distributed peace. I got it. Where's Nigeria? Nigeria. If you attack an embassy on a sovereign nation, right? They did that at an embassy in Damascus that was basically Iranian property, Iranian land, killing people. That was a first attack that Israel did. And that's an Iranian property. That's Iranian people. All right. Second, right now, they did the attack, uncalled for. Trump said, it was off the chart. He did give them, tell the Netanyahu whatever, whether he lied or told the truth. My question again to you, how would they have retaliated? Can you tell us? What should they do? Should the men get raped just like the Palestinians are getting raped every day?
Can you tell me in the first place, why Iran should put themselves into a situation that Israel attack, to the embassy? Why Israel doesn't attack the embassy of, Syria, Kuwait, UAE? Those Arab countries.
In 1983, they attacked the U.S. Embassy in Lebanon.
Yes, it was a long time ago.
53 people were killed with a truck bomb that
it was a long time ago, and they didn't do anything. It was a long time ago. I'm saying that
Israel. You talking about the U.S. I'm talking about U.S. What you're doing is you're debating the topic right now. You're talking about America, I'm talking about Israel.
Mentioned that
I'm not talking about this, I'm talking about my country.
Why did Israel attack Iran? Do you know? Why did they do that?
Because they keep threatening the existence of Israel.
Fuck Israel.
The existence of country called Israel.
And why did Iran do that?
Yeah, I was born there. I grew up with
I don't
this
care
thing.
if you were born there. I'm asking you, why did Iran?
I care about my country.
Okay. But why did Iran threaten Israel?
That's the thing. When you are not strong enough, you're not supposed to go and threaten other countries.
Why?
When you cannot even defend your own country.
No, why did you do that? Why did Iran
Because this regime has the illusion that they can save everyone and they don't.
Let's do one mic at a time. We got, I think Positive wants to chime in, going positive, and then we're going to give it to Muhammad as Iranian going positive. Yes, sister, I can put you in the queue, so go on positive. Positive, go on one question, and then we got Muhammad, and then we got Yaqub.
Yeah, Mr. Missam, I believe this discussion is a pointless discussion. Forget about politics. Let's set politics aside. I have a question for Nimeria. Yeah, Nimeria, you're purely Jewish, right? You're a Jew, right?
That's the problem with you.
That's one or two questions
She should be Jew. No, actually, if you want to know, I'm a granddaughter of a mom. My dad's side, they are all Muslim imams. Just for FYI, okay? Your problem, the reason that we cannot still have peace in this world is that you keep pushing labor on people. I'm in this situation. I'm stressed out because my country is under attack. because I'm upset, because I'm mad that Israel attacked
Positive,
Israel.
we're gonna pivot from you, bro. We're gonna give it to Muhammad. Come on, Muhammad.
I'm done with you. Goodbye.
Muhammad
Take
is
care.
Iranian, by the way.
Next question, American Riga.
Yeah, this problem between Iran and Israel goes back, to the revolution, since revolution in Iran, 1979. I think after the revolution, we found out that they've had a lot of influence in Iran, and they took a lot of resources, free oil and stuff, and this stems from back then, the hatred between Israel and Iran. But now, I think I support my country. Like, Iran has the capability, like, to defeat Israel, like, simply, maybe in a matter of weeks, if it was not supported, by the French, by the German, and by the UK, and by the United States. So, this is Iran versus the world, actually, and still, I think Iran, is not an easy target for them.
Yeah, Mr. Muhammad, I totally agree with you, but I would like to say, apart from this political greed, it's...
I think Jacob wanted to go positive hang up, bro. I got to share you. Jacob,
Yeah, I question asked Mary a question.
Muhammad is actually Iranian as well. Do you have a question for your audience?
I wanted to ask Mary a question.
I'll share you that.
So that's okay, pass.
Anybody else that has a question? Muhammad, Deborah, or Bill? What's up, Bill?
It's okay. Thank you. Thank you, moderator.
Yeah.
I have a question. No one can answer it. And let me.
It was so celebrity?
No. I'm trying to come up with the right word. It was an adjunct facility to the Iranian embassy in Syria. It wasn't the actual embassy. It was like a consulate. And it was a separate building. He loves to bring that up. He keeps on bringing it up. I'm like, oh, what about the 1983 truck bomb that blew up the U.S. embassy in by Iran? Like, did you forget about that?
If you just say, hey, Amir, what's up with all these rooms in the hallway telling people to call the FBI and DHS and that you're a terrorist supporter, I mean, I would just occasionally, like every hour on the hour, because this room will go to 2 in the morning again. Do you realize last night's room went to 2 in the morning or later?
No, I was up till 2:46.
Yeah. I literally closed my bedroom door, put my earplugs in, and went to sleep and let it run. And, but anyways, yeah, I think this room will go all day, but I really encourage you to go in there and say, what's up with this room being recorded and being restreamed? Because every time you remind that, see, the thing is, it shocks people in the room. People when they hear that, they get, it's fight or flight. Like, it raises their dopamine.
You want to make it stand.
But it's just a funny way to psyop. See, the thing is, I think what I'm doing is actually comedy. Therefore, what they're doing is actually comedy too.
Add me to your contacts when I text you. You're like, who the fuck is this?
No, I got it. I saved you. What up, Amos?
Okay, good. Oh, is this there?
The whole world
Is this there?
Which one is this?
Nothing will be living in. Yes, we must coexist. So, but for a very long time, I think the people of Israel have been attacking other nations with either these guys or self-defense. So, to me, I think Iran has the right to defend itself from the aggression of Israel. And this is my point. And in the long run, all these nations will need to be stopped. As you can see, almost all the Western powers are sending their armaments, their arms in the Middle East. So this is the sign that we are very close to the danger. We're very close to the deadly fire. all these two nations need to be talking. I think it is the right time for the Russians, the Chinese, and other superpowers who are against the Western powers to intervene this ongoing war between Israel and Iran. Because the world is being dragged into the World War III.
So the issue here is Iran does have the right to have the nuclear because everybody else looks at Iran as an enemy. They do have the right to have the nuclear facility or whatever. Just like Israel has it. Israel has it. Nobody gets to find out about it. Nobody gets to investigate. Nobody's allowed to come in and inspect. How strong it is and whatnot. But we have this problem. Hey, what's up, Edward? We have this problem called Israel in the Middle East that has attacked a whole bunch of nations. Lebanon, Syria, which means Syria. We have, attacked Yemen, has attacked, they've been killing people in the West Bank right now. The West Bank is under full shutdown because of these attacks. And Gaza, all right, and these people are just demonic. I mean, you have the place called Shifa Farms on the border of Lebanon and Israel, that they have occupied. You have the Mount Hermon that's been occupied. You got the buffer zone in Syria that has been occupied. They have bombed a whole bunch of shit in Syria, military bases and whatnot. That's for their own safety, even though the land is occupied. What's up, Edward?
Alaikum assalam. I've been noticing, strangely, that the Western media is not looking favorably on what Israel is doing in Iran, which is surprising to me. So I'm not sure what that means, but nothing all of them. Sorry?
Yeah, the Western media, they're afraid, they're just in a standby position for the repercussions of the war. So whenever, there's an interference by Russia or China in other countries, the Western, they're afraid they might be, demolished and by the Russia and the Soviet Union. So, the West is in a very bad position, despite France is trying to brace itself. If the Iranians are going to attack Israel, they're going to send their armies and troops to attack Iran.
They're going to send what to attack Iran? France is gonna I don't think France is going to attack Iran.
Just a declaration,
He took a very strong position, Macron. He was, before that he was criticizing Israel. As soon as Israel attacked Iran, he came out and said that Israel has the right to defend itself. So it is just, we call it good cop, bad cop. It's just theatrics.
Muhammad, sorry. On my side, I think that what is happening right now will drag the two sides to fight each other. Here I mean the Western powers and what I can call the people of the Soviet Union. Though in these days the alliance seems like more of BRICS than is a Soviet Union. So we all can see if the UK, France, and other Western nations are heading into the Middle East. So what this means, you can see now some powerful leaders have started to denounce what Israel is doing in Iran. So we're expecting Pakistan to join in the side of Iran. Or very closer, we are expecting China and Russia to join in the side of Iran. So this means the whole war is very close to the door.
Absolutely, Iran, the birth of the World War. But I would like to say, the question is, will the Iranian-Israeli war last long, or
is gonna be like for some time, and it's going to be de-escalated.
No, it's
It would have to be de-escalated.
Actually, they continued attacking today, and Iran is keeping responding to it tonight. So I just saw that Israel has told these people right now to go to shelters. They had detected missiles, and today I know they hit a few points in the south. So it's never happened before. Like it was, some attack and then it was off for a month. Maybe Iran responds, but now they are constantly responding. So
it's an air attack.
Is it anticipated to last long?
What was the question?
Is it anticipated to last long?
I mean, it depends what you say on long. I mean, I think within a week or two, I would think it would be de-escalated. I can't imagine Israel being able to last. With these strikes, I can't imagine Israeli people putting up with these strikes coming in from Iran. So I think maybe a week, maybe less. I mean, the UN is meeting.
Yeah, you can do it.
Iran, Israel.
Now,
Maybe a week or less.
Iran attack Israel and Israel now attacking Tehran and the Yemen capital.
To me, I don't have, I don't believe in UN. To me, UN is the biggest joke. For recent years and for a very long time, we have been messing. Yes, UN is the biggest scam to ever happen on the planet.
They're scumbags. They can't really do anything.
Well, it's not about them doing anything. Israel would approach and say, can you come out with a resolution to stop the war, and then they would come out with one.
So you F-35 jet, you heard about this, I think? They found F-35 jet.
Yeah. They captured one woman pilot, and I heard too, they said...
Well, what's the cost of the F-35 jet?
Actually, there are 3 F-35 jets that got down.
That hasn't been verified.
Yeah, that has been verified.
There's a picture somebody showed in another...
All I know is they better be asking America for no money.
Profile of any Israeli plane, and the Star of David was like a mock-up that was put down on the ground. It doesn't even represent the profile of any plane. Iranian media has, as of yesterday, said 2 of them. I think the Iranian government said they captured one pilot and then one other pilot. They have not been able to find, and they said it was under investigation. But I don't know why they said under investigation, but that's what their words were. But I just don't think this will last that much longer. I can't imagine.
I believe it's going to be as long as Israel is heavily backed by the U.S.
No, I have to say Israel is the most dumbest country I've ever seen. You can't get Hamas and then you're going to pick a fight with Iran.
True. So as long as there is an interference by Russia or the U.S., is going to ignite to we're going to face a brink of World War III.
That's cool. To me, about the World War III, about the World War III.